Shabbat, everybody. I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Wonderful class we have in store for you. Be'ezrat Hashem, I think, if I may say so myself, tonight's class might be the most important, the most powerful, the most potent class that we've given since last week. For a while. We all know, when Gemara Masagin writes, that Akamtza Bar Kamtza Charev Beit HaMikdash. Because of Kamtza and Bar Kamtza, because of Sinat Chinam, because of baseless hatred, because of quarrels, because of fights, because of discord, we no longer have a Beit HaMikdash. And yesterday we had to fast, and we might have to fast again in 3 weeks if we don't do what we need to do to rectify. So we should all, Be'ezrat Hashem, that's not the topic tonight, but we should all go home, Be'ezrat Hashem, and figure out a plan, strategy, some sort of blueprint that's going to enable us, to aid us, to become better people, to acclimate, to acquiesce with other people. And Be'ezrat Hashem, through Ahavat Chinam, in 3 weeks, we won't have to fast again. This week's Parshat Pinchas. Now listen very carefully. Such an important topic. Is it something that you're going to have to take notes for? Goldie, you taking notes on it? Last week's Parashat, Zimri ben Salum Kozbi Batsur starts sinning. Pinchas gets up. Let's go to the episode. Everybody ready? Here we go. Says the Parashat like this. Last week's Parashat. Vayar Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen. Vayakum mitoch ha'edah v'yikach rumach beyado. Pinchas comes, who is the son of Elazar, the son of Aaron HaKohen, gets up. He stands mitoch ha'edah, from within the assembly. V'yikach rumach beyado. He takes a dagger in his hand. Right, he comes to both Zimri and Kozbi, and in unison, at one time, he kills both of them. He stabs both of them at one time. By the way, the Gemara comes and writes that at that point, he lifts them both up by the dagger and walks around Machaneh Yisrael to show everybody this is what happens to people that violate Borei Olam's word. So that was last week's parasha. This week's parasha starts the following. Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen. Pinchas, the son of Elazar, the son of Aaron HaKohen, Heshiv et chamati me'al Bnei Yisrael. He returned my wrath, my anger, from Bnei Yisrael. Beganot kinati b'tocham. Because he was zealous on my behalf. V'chilite Bnei Yisrael b'kinati. And because of his zealousness, I didn't have to be jealous. I didn't have to be zealous. And I didn't obliterate, I didn't annihilate, I didn't exterminate Bnei Yisrael. Therefore, I want you to go and I want you to announce, I'm going to give him my covenant of peace. So I have a couple of questions. Okay? By the way, so the Midrash comes, writes like this. Okay? The Midrash says like this. What does it mean? I'm going to give him my covenant of peace. What does that mean? I'm going to give him my deal of peace. Says the Midrash. He deserves his reward by judgment. The man deserves his reward. So I have a couple of questions. Question number one is, why does the pasuk tell me where he got up from? Why do I have to know Pinchas' original location when he went to go kill Zimri and Kozbi? Was it so important? It's not a GPS. I have to know. No, you're mapping it out for me. What exactly was the reason Torah to tell me Pinchas got up mitoch ha'edah, from the assembly? Question number one. Question number two, why does Torah continuously report to me that Pinchas was the son of Elazar, the son of Aaron HaKohen? I understand why he doesn't in Parshat Pinchas. In Parshat Pinchas, she writes that the people were mocking Pinchas. You're going to come and go kill a Nasi in Israel? You know who your grandfather was? Your grandfather was Yitro. Shepitem agalot avodah zarah. He used to come and worship idols. That's your grandfather. You're going to get up and go kill a prince in Israel? So therefore the Torah says maybe that was on one side. But on the other side, he was the son of Elazar, the son of Aaron HaKohen. And therefore, don't mock Pinchas. So fine, that's why you say one time. That's why you relate who the grandfather is once. But why in Parashat Balak did it also tell me that he's a grandson of Aaron HaKohen? That's question number two. Question number three is, what does it mean? Bedinu yikabel sechara. He deserves that reward. He deserves to reap that benefit. What do you mean, bedinu? What do you mean? In judgment, he gets what he deserves. And question number four, what's the lesson for me? There's nothing in the Torah that's written, nothing in Chazal that's relayed, that doesn't have a practical application for me. So if I'm sitting here tonight, there are many people that don't generally come here tonight. If you're here tonight, there's a reason why Borei Olam wanted you to come to this class. There's something that you had to listen to, something that God wants to transmit to you, that should resonate in your mind, should penetrate your soul. So let's try and understand what exactly it is. Everybody ready? Listen very carefully. So comes the Ben Ish Chai, and Ben Ish Chai says a phenomenal thing. He says, we just described to you the violent act of Pinchas. Pinchas comes, he takes a dagger, and he stabs 2 people at one time, and then if that wasn't enough, if that didn't suffice, he then comes and lifts them up and walks around the camp, showing everybody how he killed. So if you take a look at Pinchas, you think Pinchas was a warrior. He was buff, he was built. He looked like Rabbi Zeytouneh. That's what you would think. Why does that make you laugh? You think I'm not buff and built? And that's what you would think. And you think, you know what, he has a violent nature to him. Must be, he's such a strong person or an angry person. Someone's quick to anger, someone's quick to get agitated. That's what you would think if you read the Pasuk at face value. So therefore the Pasuk comes and says, no. Who was Pinchas? Pinchas was Ben Eliezer, Ben Aaron HaKohen. Pinchas' grandfather was known as mode of operation, his way, his standard, his lingo, his motto was Ohev Shalom V'Lo Shalom. The family DNA was one of peace and tranquility. In fact, not only did they not fight themselves, but they went out to make sure that any 2 parties that were fighting and quarreling, that they would make peace with each other. That was the family lineage of Pinchas. So don't think that Pinchas came from a very violent family. It's not true. That's why the Torah keeps saying, Ben Eliezer, Ben Aaron HaKohen. To say that don't think that Pinchas' family was a violent crew. There were people who were very peaceful. Okay, fine. Well, wait a second. I know people where the parents are wonderful people and the kids stray. You can't say that just because the parents are wonderful, they're benevolent, they're kind, they're great, they're generous, they're righteous, they're tzaddikim, that the kids are automatically going to be the same, that they're automatically going to follow suit. So maybe that's what happened over here. Aaron HaKohen was wonderful. He pursued peace, and so did Eliezer. But maybe his son strayed. So therefore the Pasuk writes, Vayako mitoch ha'edah. Where was Pinchas when this was all transpiring? When Zebit took Cosby and they started sinning, where was Pinchas? Ba'edah. What's an edah? Rabbi's right, edah is Sanhedrin. Pinchas was one of the rabbis of the Sanhedrin. He was a great rabbi, Yoshev Ohalim Ishtam. He was a simple person. He was a very calm person. So it wasn't natural for Pinchas to get up and go do something that Pinchas did. Pinchas did something that in life we have to do. And that is that he left his comfort zone. He left what was comfortable for him. He left what was convenient for him. He left what was easy for him. And he got up and he did something that he believed was right. And that's why he deserves the reward. Because you don't get rewarded for things that come easy. You don't get rewarded for things that have facility. You don't get rewarded for things that come with no effort. The more you exert, the harder it is, the more uncomfortable it is, the less pleasant it is. And yet, throughout all, you do what's right. That's when you receive the biggest blessing. And that's what the Pasuk writes. Badinhu. He deserves it. Why? Because it wasn't natural. He had to break loose. He had to go and he had to traverse what he thought was calm and collected. And he had to go do what was right, regardless of how inconvenient it was for him. And by the way, if you don't believe me, that Pinchas was a calm soul. So listen very carefully what the Rama Mipano says. The Rama Mipano comes with something phenomenal. Who was Pinchas in a previous Gilgul? Where did Pinchas come from? Is it the first time his neshama came to this world? So listen, what the Rama Mipano says something unbelievable. Says the Rama Mipano, before Pinchas came to this world, his neshama was embodied in Yosef. Yosef at Tzaddik, also not a violent person. But wait, if that doesn't satisfy you, who was Yosef in the previous Gilgul? Yosef in the previous Gilgul was none other than Noah, says the Rama Mipano. What was Noah? The rabbis write Noah had a wonderful attribute, and that was that he was Noah. The word Noach means pleasant. It was Noach lebediot. It was Noach lamakom. That's why Purim loved him so much. V'Noach matzachen b'nei Adonai. Because he was a simple person. He was very calm. He was very easygoing. Nothing bothered him. He didn't get angry. So naturally, Pinchas, even in past Gilgulim, was a calm and collected person. So for him to go and for him to commit such a heroic act took a lot of discomfort. And that's why he's rewarded with such a great reward. Because he left his comfort zone. He did what was not convenient, what wasn't easy, what had no facility. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. Tonight I want to talk about the importance that we leave our comfort zone. That we do things that are not always so convenient, not so easy. And do what's right. And we're going to talk to you about how that is the only way you're ever going to grow. And that's the only way you're ever going to succeed. And that's the only way you're ever going to become a leader. Are you ready? Let's get started. Are you taking notes? Good. Make sure you email them to me. I'm going to have no idea what I talk about second I'm done. Everybody ready? Everybody knows that there's a holiday. A holiday when we come and we celebrate a wonderful, phenomenal victory of war. Anybody know which holiday that is? The holiday of Hanukkah. Who said Hanukkah? Very good. You want to give the quiz? No? Okay. 1 second. I knew the answer, by the way. You don't have to tell me. Thank you. 1 second. But ladies and gentlemen, do you think that was the only miraculous war that Bnei Israel ever won? Was that the only time that Bnei Israel ever won a war with miracles? Does everybody know the story of Jericho? Right? Everyone know? Bnei Israel could not penetrate a wall. The wall of Jericho was impenetrable. You couldn't go in. It was to forget about it. There was no way. Bnei Israel came and they walked for 7 days around the wall. They started blowing shofars. The wall comes and it sinks. And there's no holiday called Jericho Day. Why not? Why is there no holiday called Jericho Day? When Bnei Israel wanted to come to Gemara Masechet Sotah, they wanted to go and enter Eretz Yisrael. And as they wanted to go into Eretz Yisrael, they had to go and pass the Jordan River. What happened? The Jordan River split, says the Gemara. It wasn't only Yam Suf. The Jordan River split. The Kohanim went through, Bnei Israel went through, and the Aron HaKodesh, which was at the beginning of the Jordan River, how's he going to get over? So the Gemara writes that the Aron HaKodesh came and it levitated. And Mamash went up, it came and it floated, and everyone that was holding it went for a zipline ride across the Jordan River. Unbelievable. But there's no Jordan River holiday. Why not? Because those things took no effort. There was no effort exerted over there. So what? Bnei Israel go and they come and they circumvent the wall 7 times and they blow shofars and the wall falls and they go and they win a war. That's wonderful. But there was no effort. They didn't have to do something uncomfortable. But the Maccabees were rabbis. They were Kohanim. They sat and they learned Torah all day. They did Avodah all day. They brought Ketoret. That's what they were doing. So for them now to go and fight a war against the Greeks, they had to traverse their comfort zone. They had to go and do something inconvenient, something that they're not used to, something that was hard for them to do. And that's why these are eternalized as heroes. And until today, we celebrate Hanukkah. Because they went, I feel like it's December, because we went and they went past what they felt was convenient. And they succeeded. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. Everybody ready? Here we go. You know what? The rabbis bring a very famous story. So there was once a king, and the king had a bodyguard. You know, you don't want anybody approaching a king. Yeah, take a look at Trump, right? President Trump has Secret Service. Try to get into Secret Service. I need one of those guys, by the way. Keep me away from Simon, right? What's doing, Simon? I love you. You know I love you, Simon, right? When he's sleeping. 1 second. So, hold on a second. So here the guy is, the king is, and sure enough, as he's walking, somebody tries to accost the king. Tries to come and tries to beat the king. So sure enough, the Secret Service guy comes, and he starts banging on the guy, he starts beating him senseless, until the guy can't move anymore. And the guy's still unconscious. The king says, "Thank you so much. Have a good day." The next day, the king is walking again. But now the Secret Service is not available. I guess he went to the Bahamas. And he's walking. And as he's walking, all he has is him and his assistant, the guy who holds his wares. And sure enough, again, another ruffian comes and tries to accost the king, tries to attack the king. And who's there to defend him? So sure enough, this puny little assistant says he drops all the things and he jumps on the guy and he starts beating the guy up. And the king's looking in shock and amazement. I can't believe it. The guy's lying unconscious. And he calls his assistant and says, for you, I'm giving a bonus. So the Secret Service guy comes and says, wait a second, that's not fair. I saved your life yesterday. Why am I not getting a reward? And the king says, because you're skilled. That's what you do. You're trained in it. That's all you do all the time. You practice it. I'm not giving you to do something that's easy for you. The other guy had to do something inconvenient, something he's not used to, something he doesn't do all the time. And he had to get up, and he had to have courage, he had to be emboldened. And that's why he's such a hero. Because he did something that doesn't come natural. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's wonderful, and I take a look at this room is so great. And you people come every Monday night almost. And I would say that most of you are religious, all of you. But are we doing things that are not in our comfort zone? Are we excelling in things that maybe don't come so easy to us? They're not so convenient. And I want to talk about that tonight. Everybody ready? Let's go. Because in the Mishnah Pirkei Avot, who listens to this Mishnah? Everyone knows the Mishnah. The Mishnah writes, Ben Hehe Omer, says Ben Hehe, Lefum Tzara Agra. The more pain that I feel when I do a mitzvah, the harder it is, the more challenges there are, the more uncomfortable I am, the more inconvenienced I am. And I still accomplish the task. The more reward I reap, the greater it is. Because life is about taking these hardships and turning them into masterpieces. Taking life, taking all the challenges, when things are not simple, and making sure that I grow from these opportunities. Because everybody is confronted with uncomfortable situations. I'll give you an example. This Shabbat, I was giving a class, and when I got up from my class, someone shook my hand. And when he shook my hand, I realized that my pinky was numb. It was numb. And I look, and I'm a person, they say in Arabic, khayef ala roho. You know what that means? I'm scared for my life, And every little thing that happens to me, I don't know what to do. When I talk to my mother, I talk to my wife, and I don't talk to my mother, but I talk to everyone else, right? And so my finger is numb, and I don't know what to do. And I'm going to the doctor in my shul, this doctor, that doctor. This one says, I don't know. Could you go like this? Check your balance. Go like this. I don't know what. And I have no idea what's going on. So everyone says, you know what? Go to urgent care tonight. Go to urgent care. I said, fine, I'm going to go to urgent care. So sure enough, my doctor was closed. He's not in town. So I go to urgent care. And I'm sitting there in urgent care, and a lady comes. And now she wants to take the information. So she's sitting there, and she says, okay, name, Eliezer Zeytouneh. Height, 5'8.5". Weight, none of your business. Right? She says, let's try it again. Weight, I said, none of your business. She goes, sir, we're not playing a game here. You're here to feel better. And therefore, I understand it's uncomfortable. But if you want me to do my job right, you got to face the discomfort. In life, many times there are things that are uncomfortable that are obstructing our success, obstructing our happiness, obstructing our ability to thrive. And we got to make sure that we traverse those obstacles. And don't allow those things to stop us. And I'll give you a couple of examples. Everybody ready? Here we go. There's a Gemara Masachet Sotah, Daf Yud Zayin Amud Aleph. And the Gemara comes and it's a famous Gemara. And at every chuppah, everybody always says, this Gemara. We always quote this Gemara. Ready? Listen very carefully. Darish Rabbi Akiva, says Rabbi Akiva. Ish ve'isha, zachu, shechina b'nehem. Man and wife, if you have married, it's wonderful. You'll have shechina amongst you. Man and wife, if you have married, you do what you got to do. Shechina imahem. Shechina will be amongst them. B'nehem. Wonderful. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not easy to be zocheh for that Shekhinah to reside. People think that getting married is a honeymoon. It's wonderful. I can't wait until I get married. It's so much fun. And the girls, one time they're 5 years old, are putting on wedding dresses. And you should, because it's a beautiful thing. But it's not easy. Getting married is not, I see some men are doing this, right? Getting married is not your husband, don't take it easy. It's not easy. Because men and women are very different. Men and women are very different. You know, and I'll give you an example. You know, the Gemara Masechet Kiddushin. Daf Mem Teremut Bet. And the Gemara over there writes, ready? Asara kabim shel sicha naflu la'olam. There were 10 leaders of conversation that fell into the world. Tish'a natlu nashim. 9 of them were taken by women. Ve'ahad kol ha'olam kulo. And 1 was taken by the entire world. Which means that women like to converse. I didn't say they like to talk, that's not what we're talking about. But they like to converse. I have to have a conversation. I have to know how your day was. And I have to know how you're doing. And I have to know why you're feeling that way. And why you... And men just don't care. I don't want to tell you. I'll give you an example. You know how many times I call my wife? And my wife gets on the phone. And she's excited because I called her. Usually she calls me. I called her. Hi, honey. How are you doing? Great. What's for dinner? Steak. Okay, thanks. That's it? Oh, you want to make me something else also? No. That's all you called to tell me? No, I also wanted to tell you, it's sunny outside today. She goes, honey, bye. Right? Because she wants to hear more. She wants to hear about my day. She wants to hear how things are doing. She wants me to hear about her day. And I just want to work. I can't do it. So somewhere in between me and her, we need Shekhinah to come down. So I got to be a little bit uncomfortable and talk more. And she's got to be a little uncomfortable and talk less. And by doing that, we'll bring Borei Olam into our home. It's not easy. And it's not comfortable. But that's why it's so rewarding. That's why it's so great. That's why it's so unbelievable. Now, 1 second. There's a Gemara Masechet Gittin. Aflam and Vav Amud Bet. And the Gemara says a phenomenal thing. I love this Gemara. It's one of the greatest Gemaras that I ever taught my boys. And I teach my 9th grade this Gemara every single year. Everybody ready? Freddie, you remember this Gemara? What do you mean? Yeah, I didn't say it yet. Okay. Ready? Listen to the Gemara. Tanuna Banan. And Rabbi taught in the Braita. Hane'elavin ve'enan olvin. People that get embarrassed and don't embarrass others. Shom'in chanpatan ve'en mashivin. They hear when they're embarrassed, belittled, demeaned, and they don't reciprocate. Osin me'ava usmechin bisurin. They act out of love, and they're happy when they suffer. Borei Olam says about this person, you're like the sun in its greatest might. You're as strong as the sun in its greatest might. Wait a second. What does that mean? I don't understand. What does it mean you're like the sun? So everybody knows the famous Midrash. The Midrash writes that when Borei Olam created the sun and the moon, they were both the same strength and the same size. And the moon comes to Borei Olam and says, wait a second, God, it's not fair. You can't have 2 kings reigning at the same time. You can't have 2 rulers over the same, 2 dominions over the same entity. One's got to be greater, and one's got to be weaker. And the Shemesh stayed quiet. The sun could have defended himself. The sun could have said, you know what? Why? Let one do it in the day and one do it in the night, but the same potency. The sun could have reciprocated. He could have answered. The sun said nothing. Borei Olam says to the moon, you spoke, so ma'ati tatzmech. Lessen your light, weaken your light. And the sun, you're going to say the dominant sun. Now 1 second, I don't understand. And it's very possible because if the sun was given a reward for not talking, it must have been difficult for the sun to stay quiet. It must have been difficult for the sun not to answer. not to respond, not to reply. Why? Because he was rewarded. And the the harder it is for you, the more reward you reap. You know, I want to tell you the other day, everyone knows my son, Shia Bari. If you don't, you guys stay away, thank you. But my son is a good guy. He's a nice guy. And my son likes to compete with me in everything. He likes to compete in basketball. So since the time he's 12, he wants to try to beat me in basketball. Okay? And we have a league every summer. I spend time with my son. And I don't let him win. I beat him. So now, Shia Bari is 17 years old. And he's beating me naturally. But he's getting bigger. And every year he likes to come and he wants to measure himself against me to see if he's getting taller. If he's getting taller, and eventually he's going to definitely get taller, for sure. So this past Shabbat, he says, Dad, can we check? All right, let's do it. So I had a guest over there. I said, we stand back to back. We're standing back to back. And sure enough, the guest goes, uh-oh, I think your son is taller by hair. Right? Now here you have a guest in my house who just made fun of me. You know what I would do to him? But I stayed quiet. And I laughed it off. I thought it was a dog. I thought it was a very funny comment. It's great. And I stayed quiet. Because it's uncomfortable. And if it's uncomfortable, it's productive. It's great. Listen to what the Zechut Avot says. Written by Rabbi Yosef Chaim. Wonderful. Says Rabbi Yosef Chaim, in such a case, in such a situation, when things are not so easy and someone embarrasses you, puts you down, and you don't answer back. Listen to what he writes. If you don't answer back, not only do you retain what you have, you usurp what your friend has. If you stay quiet, you don't only get your portion, you get your friend's portion. Wait a second. If that's the case, I just got an insight. What happened by the sun? The sun and the moon had the same potency, the same strength, the same radiance. The moon made a claim against the sun stayed quiet. The moon diminished its light. But according to the Ben Ish Chai, you know what just happened? Not only did the sun keep his light, the sun actually absorbed the light of the moon. He got it. Because it was uncomfortable. Because it was inconvenient. Because it was hard for him to do. How many times is the person sitting and the mother-in-law walks in? Now everybody, makes fun of the mother-in-law. The mother-in-law walks in. And she sits there and she looks at you and she goes, my daughter could have married a doctor. So you want to just say, you know what? You're going to need a doctor in a minute, right? What does that mean? My daughter married you. What am I, chop suey? And you stay quiet. The reward for that silence is immeasurable. You're at work and your boss demeans you. He screams at you, he embarrasses you, denigrates you. And you stay quiet, you stay silent, you don't respond back. The reward in Shamayim is insurmountable, immeasurable. It's through those comments that you can become a better you. Because that is the foundation of every hardship in life, of every challenge in life, of every uncomfortable circumstance in life. And I want to tell you, there is someone in this room tonight who is just doing this, so I'm going to have to say that, okay? Who has a barbecue in her house now that she is hosting for her friends now. Oh, you canceled? Oh, not yet. They're coming. You have to leave? Oh, is that what you're saying? So I'm going to take away the whole example. That doesn't make sense anymore. No, you can go. And she's here. You know how hard that is? You know how uncomfortable that is? You know how difficult that must be? But she did it. By the way, save me some steak. I'm coming right after class. Good. Right. No, I'm just joking. I'm not coming. Just send it to my house. Thanks, okay? Unbelievable. How many times do I talk to people? Joe, Listen, tomorrow, minyan, it's so important, it's so important. But Rabbi, it's so hard, it's so difficult. I don't know how to get up. I don't know how to wake up in the morning. I really don't know what I'm going to do. Joe, I'm telling you, it's worth it. You find it hard, it's uncomfortable to wake up with that alarm? That's exactly why you should do it. Because that's going to make you into a person. That's going to develop you into someone great. That's going to show you the great ultimate success. It's those uncomfortable moments that cause us to flourish in life. Or girl wants to start dressing up a little bit more modestly. And she wants to put on that skirt. Or extend it a little bit. Or she wants to start covering up a little bit more. But Rabbi, it's going to be so uncomfortable. All my friends dress the other way. My parents are going to make fun of me. They're going to tell me I'm never going to get married. My father's going to take a look at me and say, what happened? What did I do to you? What school did you go to? Rabbi Zeytouneh is right. It's going to be uncomfortable. And that's why you should do it. Because Borei Olam is presenting you with that moment, with that situation. Because Hashem wants you to utilize that, and He wants you to be propelled into an entirely different sphere. Unbelievable. And by the way, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful room tonight. Really wonderful. My question is tonight, why is it that we can't do comfortable things? Why? Why can't I do things that are uncomfortable? Just going to be a little inconvenience, so I can't do it? So I'll tell you why. Many people don't want to put themselves into a situation of discomfort because they're scared that they're going to fail. They're scared they're not going to make it. They're not going to persevere. They're not going to succeed. They're not going to excel. That's why they don't want to do things that are not easy for them because they're scared of failure. And tonight I want to talk about this exact claim, this exact idea that we're scared to fail and therefore we won't do anything that's that's outside of our boundaries because we're scared we're going to falter. There's a Likutei Etzot. And the Likutei Etzot says something phenomenal. Slowly, listen to this. Whenever a person wants to go from one level to the next level, listen to the following words. He's got to fall before he excels. He's got to fall before he ascends. Because falling is only for purposes of getting back up and going higher. That's why God makes you fall. That's why God makes you fail. That's why God makes you falter. Because you're supposed to use that failing and propel yourself to the next level. And therefore says the Likutei Moharan, who says the Sefer Likutei Etzot, when a person fails, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't despair. Because the only reason God made you fail, it says you should try again and succeed. You know what it's like? So there's a new place. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called Sky Zone. Anybody ever hear of Sky Zone over here? Okay. Rosie, you never heard of Sky Zone? Oh, you heard of Sky Zone? Okay. Sky Zone is a trampoline park. It's a whole place full of trampolines, right? The whole place. Everything is trampolines. If you're bouncing off walls, this place, you bounce off everything. What happens in a trampoline? In a trampoline, the higher you want to jump, the stronger you have to go down. The more you go down on the trampoline, the more you bounce right back up. That's the way a trampoline works. You know, I once saw in a circus, I forgot the guy's name. I think it was Bozo. I know the guy. Bobo. He has a name. One of these guys. And he would jump off the trampoline and he would do like a motorcycle thing, like a bicycle. And he'd come back down and he would do another thing. And put his legs like that and put legs like that. So I was watching with my kids a circus and I said, you think this guy is something? Watch me. I can do it. My kids said, yeah, you're definitely a clown. No, they didn't say that. And here I am, Sky Zone. And I get the sky socks. You know, you can't just wear regular socks. You have to wear sky socks. So I put on my sky socks. And I tell my kids, now you'll watch a real clown. I mean, a real jumper. Ready? And I start jumping. and I'm jumping. And they're like, okay, Daddy, where's the tricks? I said, it's coming up. Daddy, where's the tricks? I said, it's coming up. I said, Daddy, where's the tricks? I said, it's not coming up. And after I stopped jumping, I said, Daddy, what happened to... I said, I didn't want to embarrass the guy. Poor guy, Hazi. I said, that's his job. I can't put him to shame. But the lower you jump, the higher you fly. People need to fail in order to succeed. If you don't fail, your success will be very superficial. Everyone here ever go ice skating? Anyone? No? People ice skate? Right? Very good. Good. I don't ice skate. I don't. I'm going to be very, very honest. I do not ice skate. I get on, I put on my ice skates, okay? And the second I'm on, I'm the magnet on the wall. And my kids say, Daddy, come, give me your hand. What? Give me a hand, I'll help you. You're going to help me. I said, the second you touch my hand and I'm off the ice, you're going to fall with me. I said, Daddy, baby steps. Baby steps. I said, I'm in my 30s. I didn't take baby steps in 30-something years. I said, Daddy, just try. And until today, I have no idea how to ice skate. By the way, I don't know how to roller skate either. Well, roller skating maybe. Roller blading. I never understood that. You know, there were some things called roller skates. Sorry, you know what a roller skate is? It has four, not the four this way. It has four on. You know what I'm talking about? Now they have these shoes, the funny shoes, the wheelies. Who wants to do that? What is that? I want to walk. I don't want no wheelies. But because I never got up when I failed, I don't know how to ice skate. And that's okay when it comes to skating. But it's a tragedy when it comes to life. When it comes to life, if I don't leave my comfort zone, because I'm scared that I'm not going to make it, then you're guaranteed not to make it. But if I do go into my discomfort zone, and I try, that's the only way you're going to succeed. There's the Gemara Masechet Gittin. Now this Gemara, when I saw this past Shabbat, I was planning this class, and God, showed me this Gemara. Listen to this Gemara. The Gemara can be found on Masechet Gittin, Daf Mem Gimel Amud Bet. Sorry, Amud Aleph. And the Gemara writes like this. Ready? Writes the Gemara. En Adam omed al divrei Torah ela im ken nichshal b'hem. A person cannot successfully learn Torah unless he fails first. Hear what I just said? A person can't successfully learn, understand, comprehend, internalize Torah unless he fails first. Because real success is a result of failure, of going out of my comfort zone, trying things that I'm not used to trying, moving in ways I'm not used to moving, talking in ways I'm not used to talking. That's how you become a person. In fact, Rav Dessler writes a beautiful thing. Listen to the words of Rav Dessler. Says Rav Dessler, when a person comes, if a person is faced with a situation that's so difficult, the challenges present themselves as being almost impossible. It's not feasible, not doable, I can't do it. Listen what Rav Dessler writes. A person has to realize it's only because of these difficulties that you're going to succeed. It's the difficulties in life. It's the discomfort. It's the agitation. It's when things are not so easy, not so facile, that I got to traverse it, and I got to trespass those boundaries, and that's what's going to make me a success. Wait a second. Last week's parasha was Parashat Balak. Parashat Balak, Balak hires Bil'am, who was a prophet, to go curse Bnei Israel. Who was Bil'am? Bil'am was known as Shetum Ha'ayin. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone know what Shetum Ha'ayin means? What is Shetum Ha'ayin? Shetum Ayin means that Bilam only had one good eye. The other eye was handicapped. He was the first man documented in the Torah who had a cataract. Bilam had a cataract. He was able to see, but it was covered. Right? The old Yosef Chai. 1 second. Listen to these words. Says the old Yosef Chai. You know, in order for a person to be a prophet, you got to be a pretty holy person. Not anyone could be a prophet. You see the guys, you go sometimes on the city, you go, what is that? Okay? He has a guitar case open. He's opening, then you're going to throw in stuff over there. By the way, genius. While he's going, people can hush all this stuff, but you don't see other things. You don't just become a prophet. You need to be a holy man. If that's the case, how did Bilam become a prophet? Bilam was an ingrate. He was an adulterer. He was an idolater. How did he become such a holy man? How did he get the transmission from God? By the way, the rabbi's right that his nevuah was greater than Moshe's nevuah. Says Od Yosef Chai. Then in order for a person to receive transmission, you need at least one body part that remains pure. Bilam had a handicap in his eye. That means his eye never saw anything evil, never saw anything impure, never saw anything immodest. It was that failure, that blemish, that handicap that Bilam possessed that caused him to become one of the greatest Nevi'im that ever lived. It was that failure that allowed him to become a legend. Okay, fine. Rabbi, I got you. I got it. I decided, B'ezrat Hashem, from now on, I'm going to pick, you know what? You don't have to pick everything. Pick one thing that you find uncomfortable. One thing. There are people that I know that don't know how to compliment. Don't know how to compliment. Very difficult for them. Because, they're jealous. Or because they think people are going to think I'm nerdy. Right? It's uncomfortable for me to say something nice. It's uncomfortable. Pick one thing that's uncomfortable tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing. I'm not going to ask you to pick everything. One thing. And work on it. If it's tzniut, to enhance your tzniut a little bit, do it. On my kashrut level, I want to tell you something. When I started observing Halav Yisrael, I decided one day, I was a big yodel guy. I love yodels. You know what I'm talking about, the yodels? The Drake, the yodels, the thing with the devil doors? Oh my gosh, okay. Right? Shema Yisrael, but it's like Gan Eden in this world. Kit Kat, give me a break. Okay, all that. I wanted a break like every 5 minutes. I loved it. And the nacho cheese items, you know what I'm talking about? All that stuff, the dab. Sure. No? You don't like that stuff? It's none of your business. So we don't have the same taste. You like Kit Kat? I don't. I do. All ready? 1 second. Haagen-Dazs, Baskin-Robbins, Shema Yisrael, good humor, right? I used to buy stuff. And now I decided I am not going to eat it anymore. Halav Stam is off my menu. And yes, it was hard. And yes, it was uncomfortable. And yes, there were many times where I would go to someone's house and there they would have bagels and tuna that I don't want and egg salad that I don't want, and finally, cream cheese, tempty. Of Philadelphia. I said, I don't see it. Do you have some J&J stuff over here? Can you get J&J? What is that? And it was uncomfortable. But guess what? I'm still alive. And I'm still eating only Chalav Yisrael. And I think that it made me a better person. I think it took me to a higher level. But that only happened because I did things that were inconvenient for me. So pick one thing that's hard, that's uncomfortable, that's inconvenient, that's a struggle. And tonight, don't wait until tomorrow, because that's convenient. Tonight, let's decide to jump into this comfort zone and become better people. But how do I do it, Rabbi? What are my steps? What am I supposed to do? Well, tonight, B'ezrat Hashem, I'm going to give you 2 steps. 2 steps. Ready? Number 1, writes the Or Letzion. This is a beautiful thing. Or Letzion says, I'll read it to you. Ready? Kol davar ba'olam kach. Everything in the world. K'she'asechel mahalit davar. Af she'metziut nogedet. B'chol zot oseh et hadavar. Once my mind decides to do something, once I am resolved, once I just say, that's it, nothing is going to stop me, you always do what you decide you're going to do. Again, not I'm going to try. Hey, are you coming Monday night? I'll try. What do you mean I'll try? You have to dig through a hole to get to me? What are you trying means? I need to know what that means. I'll try. What does that try? What? I'll try basically means no. That's what it means. I'm trying. Once you decide you're going to do something, you do it. But you have to really decide. I decide tonight, I'm only wearing skirts. Well, not me. That'll be a very big problem. Okay? But I decide tonight, only Bet Yosef meat. I decide tonight, no more Lashon Hara. But it's a decision. It's not a frail idea. Then you'll do it. So that's step number 1. But step number 2 is a Nefesh HaChaim. And the Nefesh HaChaim comes and says a beautiful thing. Person wants to open up a business. What's the first thing you do when you want to open up a business? You go to business experts. You go to people to guide you how to open up a business. Person wants to go and buy a house. What do? You get an adjuster. You get a bank to come down. Right? You have someone who comes and evaluates. You don't just go willy-nilly and buy a house. And therefore, if I want to do something and change myself and do something that's not so comfortable, I need to go to someone to guide me. So step number 2 is I got to find a friend, a confidant, someone I look up to, not down to, someone that I look up to that's going to inspire me to excel. And ask him to help me find strategies, a plan, a way, a blueprint to help me succeed. And by employing these 2 tactics, I'll be able to go out of my shell and out of my parameters and out of my comfort zone and start really building my life. Start really being what I can be. You know, it's funny, but in America they have a slogan, be all that you can be, where? No one, they don't have the slogan anymore? Be all that you can be in the army. Why can't I be anything and all that I can be sitting on my couch? Why not? Why can't I be all that I can be sitting in the AC listening to Rabbi Zeytouneh? Because then you're letting yourself down. And you're not uncomfortable. And you're not struggling. But in the army you struggle. And you fight. And that's when you could be all that you can be. So let's go back tonight and make a list of all the things that are so uncomfortable, inconvenient, bothersome. And pick one. And then call up a friend and say, listen, this is what I want to do. Can you help me? And by doing that, watch how you step down on that trampoline and Borei Olam comes and propels you to the greatest of heights, to give you peace and tranquility in your life, to give you real gedulah, just like Pinchas went totally out of his nature zone, out of his comfort zone, and was zocheh for him and his children forever to be kohanim. Imagine the blessings we could reap for us, our children and grandchildren forever. Imagine the shalom bayit, the shekhinah we could bring into our home. Imagine how beautiful the blessings, the light, the radiance of the sun we could have. All it takes is 2 steps. But don't try. Commit to do it tonight. And just watch how high you can jump. I thank you all for joining me tonight. Baruch Adonai L'olam. Amen ואמן. לפי עלייה ושומע, תשבחו את זה וחבאים תעזו שמע. אדוני חמד צבא, תקרוא,